After securing the area around Dyson Joint Command, we are asked to report to a logistics officer for a briefing.
You're just in time. Please follow me to Subcommander Cole.
Cole is the Romulan Republic representative here on the Solanae Dyson Sphere, and following this officer, we pass Captain Corrin of the Klingon Defense Force, and across the hall is Captain Shon of the USS Enterprise, and our own senior staff all congregated in this lobby. For Cole to call a meeting like this, something must be big, something that affects all the Allied powers. After a few minutes of waiting around and speculating, I decide to actually go and speak to Cole to learn what's going on.
Good to see you again. We now know why the sphere generates vast amounts of omega particles. It is designed to use those particles as fuel to jump to any area of space. There is a space station that controls the jumps in close orbit of the sphere's star.
So this station, the size of Earth's entire orbit, can teleport.
Admiral Tuvok from Starfleet was selected to lead a small team to the station to try to disable it. With him is Dr. Eric Cooper, a scientist who has been studying Dyson and Iconian technology. Something's gone wrong. 2 hours ago we received a distress signal from Tuvok. Please use the console to download the signal. Afterward, I'd like to hear your opinion of the situation.
We have worked with both Admiral Tuvok and Dr. Cooper before. Cooper we met with his team studying Borg nanoprobes, and we have been a part of the Admiral's task force when we investigated fluidic space. Dr. Cooper was present here too. However, his ship was lost when the Undine attacked. We later re-encountered Eric Cooper as part of the Federation science team dispatched to investigate the new Romulan Iconian gate.
Joint Command, please respond. This is Tuvok. Sensors have detected a large Voth fleet moving toward the station. They have discovered us, and we have yet to complete our work. Communications with our ship are down. Our last contact with them indicated that they were having technical difficulties and may be forced to retreat to a safer location. I will be unable to stop a Voth advance without assistance.
The attack on the Voth fleet will commence shortly. Captains, please return to your ships.
Tuvok and Cooper are stranded with an entire Voth fleet bearing down on them. I need you to fly to the station, rescue our team, and finish the mission. Our fleet will engage the Voth to help keep them distracted. But to avoid detection, you'll need to fly roughly 100 kilometers above the surface of the star.
Well, what about Republic vessels? Can't you just use a cloaking device to get close to the station without being detected?
The Voth are actively scanning for ships approaching the station. They can detect our cloaked ships, which is another issue we're trying to solve. This is our best option. The star's magnetic field will make it impossible for most sensors to pick up your ship. With luck, your ship will not have to fly close to the star's surface for very long.
100 kilometers puts us just above the surface of the Sun, the photosphere, and in fact we are well within the chromosphere, where the temperature ranges from 4,500 to 10,000 degrees Kelvin. By a quirk of physics, this is actually cooler than the corona, the light rays that you can see during an eclipse. Starship shields can repel weapon blasts that reach these temperatures, but that's only for a few seconds at most. And if the shields fail, then that's it for the armature. If the heat didn't get us, the radiation would.
Our team can assist your engineers to make modifications that should protect your ship. This is our best option. The star's magnetic field will make it impossible for most sensors to pick up your ship. With luck, your ship will not have to fly close to the star's surface for very long.
Well, metaphasic shieldings worked in the past.
Speak with the logistics officer assigned to brief your crew on the situation.
Well, it seems that control of this entire sphere is about to be decided. As the joint forces move to intercept the Voth fleet, we're to sneak in and support Tuvok.
Greetings. Our engineers are working with your crew now to create a temporary modulation program that will help your shields protect your ship from the heat and radiation you will encounter on your way to the sun station. Your ship should be able to safely make the trip, but it won't be able to remain in orbit of the station.
So after you've dropped me off, what are you going to do with my ship?
We will need every available ship to fight the Voth. It would be best if your ship joined the fleet once you are aboard the station. Your goals on the station are to find Admiral Tuvok, Assist him to shut down the sphere's jump capabilities, and then retreat before the Voth fleet arrives. Do you have any questions?
Lots, but no time apparently. If the Armiger's part of the fleet, how are we getting out of there?
Admiral Tuvok traveled to the station in a new starship, specifically designed to withstand the conditions there. The Dyson has reported some technical issues, but they should still be in transporter range. It will be standing by to assist you when you've completed your mission.
You mean that this ship he's lost communications with? This whole operation hinges on Tuvok, me, and an easily startled scientist figuring out hyper-advanced alien tech before the Voth reach us above the surface of a boiling star with no way of signalling our only way of escape. Temet says that they'll look after the Armiger. Well, Tarsi, enjoy your first command. Let's hope it's not permanent. Lieutenant Scavrin, my chief engineer, is not happy. He informs us that subsystems across the ship are beginning to overheat and fail. For now, nothing important is in danger, but the longer we stay here, the higher the chance we lose something critical. Things like life support must be working overtime, and we can visibly see the Armiger's shields straining under the constant barrage of radiation. While the battle rages above, we crawl across the surface of the sun to the ancient station. From this distance we can see the station engulfed in coronal loops as magnetic flux funnels plasma into towering arches. Flying directly through one of these would be a bad idea. The materials the control centre is constructed of must have insanely high melting points, as there appear to be shielding apparatus beneath the towers, protecting them from the worst of the emitted radiations. We still cannot establish communications with the Admiral, and Temet points to the flares and arches as the cause of the interference, and identifies several offline solar inhibitors that were designed to suppress the solar activity in the immediate vicinity of the station. Flying to each of these suppressors allows us to activate them, but the detours are costing us. Tarsi provides a constant damage report, including the loss of the starboard power coupling, replicators, and other systems as they overheat and shut down. The monolithic station's surface has a crisscross of lines that catch the sun's light, giving it a molten appearance. The surface appears weathered and beaten, but it fares much better than the Armiger, which I'm pretty sure is beginning to glow. We pass an orbiting gateway, the same as the one that emerged from subspace in the Direct system, and this must be how the actual builders of this station reached it without passing through the corona and limiting their exposure to the surface of this star. We repair the final solar inhibitor and try again to contact the Admiral.
Your arrival is timely. The Voth are already on the station. I am with Dr. Cooper, but many of the other members of our team have been killed. Any assistance you can render would be useful. I recommend that you speak to your crew before transport. Your vessel will not be able to remain in range for long.
Understood, Admiral. I'll be there soon. After I'm gone, the crew is to leave orbit, repair the Armiger as best you can, and then join the fleet holding back the Voth. Take good care of my ship while I'm gone.
Greetings. I am Admiral Tuvok. The man behind the crates is Dr. Eric Cooper, the Federation Science Council's expert on Dyson technology.
Yes. Hello, I'm Dr. Cooper.
Allow me to brief you on the situation, so we may determine the best plan of action. Main power is offline. I am not sure what caused this disruption, but the event was fortunate. The darkness is a distinct tactical advantage. There are manual overrides in each room. I have temporarily disabled the one between us and the Voth. Unfortunately, the Dyson's captain did not survive the Voth's initial assault.
So what can you tell me about this station?
There are 2 generator rooms that control much of the station's operations. The generator room to the south controls the power. The control room to the west, where the Voth are, maintains the station's jump capabilities. It is imperative we reach the west control room and disable it before the Voth jump this sphere back to their space. The release of the Omega particles needed for this reaction would be catastrophic.
Are the Voth here in force?
More than the 2 of us can safely engage. Defeat would be certain. However, if we restore main power, we can use the station's automated defenses to even the odds, if we can avoid being targeted by them ourselves. I understand you have extensive combat experience. Do you have any suggestions?
Sub-Commander Cole mentioned the USS Dyson, your ship. Any news? We didn't see it on approach.
I have attempted to hail them, but received no response. The ship's shields and hull plating are designed to withstand the extreme amounts of heat, pressure, and radiation generated by this sphere's star. However, it is a prototype vessel on its first voyage. There were several unexpected system failures. The communications array must be among them. The ship has retreated to a safe location to make repairs. Until they are able to complete them, they will not be able to assist us.
Then we make our way to the generator room.
We're moving away from the Voth, right?
It seems that there was originally an entire team here, but a preliminary Voth force has whittled them down to just the 2. Some of the injured on both sides were victims of the automated defences. Dead Starfleet and Voth are found scattered throughout the halls.
Sensors are detecting a Voth battle mech ahead. I recommend we perform a more detailed scan to ensure it is deactivated. The pilot of this battlesuit may have been killed in the fighting. However, we do not know what else we will find on this station. We must move forward. The trapped Voth will be attempting to circumvent my modifications. What do you suggest?
We have several options here. We can arm Cooper and get him to defend himself, which seems like a terrible idea. The guy's clearly terrified and even a phaser on stun could hit one of us instead. We can ask the Admiral to support us, or keep an eye on Cooper, keeping him and his familiarity with the Sphere's systems safe.
Voth! Sorry. I thought I saw something.
Remain calm, Doctor.
I'll say one thing about Vulcans, they're useful to have around in a
The
crisis.
defenses in here can be quite lethal.
It was awful. The sounds, the blood.
We continue to make our way through the station's dark interior, wary of signs of danger. Tuvok's stoicism is in stark contrast to Cooper's panicked state, and the Admiral's countermeasures have done a good job of isolating the Voth from this section of the station. However, we'd better not get too comfortable. The Voth have had as much time to study this technology as we have.
I will stand watch while you and the Doctor examine the generator.
We reach the generator room and Cooper explains the minigame we'll have to perform to restore main power.
If I understand this correctly, we can restore main power activating consoles that match the symbol up here. After the first one is activated, we'll only have 20 seconds to activate the other 2. If we don't, the system will defend itself. Also, activating the wrong consoles will trigger the system's defenses. Be careful. That looks right. That did it. The final console is unlocked.
I thought ancient alien technology beyond our comprehension would be a bit more difficult to hack, but okay. This is an impressive view, and one few people will ever get to see, at least in the Federation. Remaining this close to a star within its atmosphere would provide all sorts of opportunities to study them, and I'm curious to see the progress of the USS Dyson. the ship that's been built off reverse-engineered Solanae technology.
This does not bode well. By restoring main power, we have released the locks, preventing the Voth from reaching our location. They will already be on the move. We will require Cooper's assistance to subvert the automated defenses for our own use. The Doctor is an expert in the technology found on the sphere. This is well within his capabilities.
The Doctor, on the other hand, thinks differently.
What are we going to do? The Voth will be here any second, and I don't think they're in the mood to take prisoners. Please, you have to get me out of here. I'm not like you and Tuvok. I'm much too important to die here.
I'm going to ignore that comment. The man is clearly frayed at the edges, and retorting is only going to make things worse. Instead, we'll try to coax him to calm down and help us.
My help? What could I do? You and Tuvok have done everything so far. I don't even know how to use a phaser. I just want to go back to my lab. I was never meant for field work.
Currently, we don't have an escape plan, which means we're staying here and facing the Voth. That is happening, so get it together.
Don't yell at me. I don't do well under pressure. You're trained to think under fire. I'm not. I just want to go home and think things over without being under threat from dinosaurs and captains. It's up to you. I just can't.
If you don't, we're all going to die.
Then I guess we'll all just die. If the Voth don't get us, then the station's defenses will. But if the defenses aren't active here... Wait! I think I know what to do. Just give me a moment. I think if I try this...
Dr. Cooper, we require a solution.
I'm working on it. Vulcans, if I can just try that... Yes, I have it. I've done something. I'm not ready for what's being thrown at me here. Maybe I could activate the beams, or something else?
Allow me, Doctor. Fascinating. With this exposed, I can manually activate the defenses in the next room. However, there is another possibility. Instead of activating the defenses to assist you, I can reroute the power to attempt to send a message to our stranded ship. It may not help, but we have been out of contact for hours. Your options are activating the defense beams, activating swarmers, or using none of them.
What are our chances if we just don't activate anything and save the power to contact the ships?
Slim enough that I cannot recommend it. However, if you choose to do so, I will support you.
Alright, so if we activate the station's automated drones, how's that going to help us?
I can alter the programming of the security swarmers that normally patrol this area. They will attack the Voth, but they also will attack us if there are no other targets. The swarmers will provide a distraction for us, but they could also be a liability. Do you want me to activate the swarmers?
First, tell me about these energy beams.
I can activate beams of energy that will shoot down in set periods of time. I do not have any further control than that. But you could lure some of the Voth into the beams. The beams are quite deadly, so I would advise keeping your distance. This would be our easiest option against the Voth, but if we are not careful, we could be caught in the beams. Would you prefer I activate the beams?
So we can set up obstacles, or we can place the Voth as priority targets for the patrol drones. Sounds like we'll have to deal with the drones even if they neutralise the Voth though, so let's go with option 2, the energy beams.
I'll wait here. You go on ahead.
That makes complete sense, just hide in a corner or something. On the way to the control centre we can see the energy beams firing off. I wonder if they really are part of some elaborate booby trap. It seems like they're more an exhaust vent or something. Either way, standing in them just disintegrates the Voth.
More Voth inbound. Prepare yourself.
After holding our ground for a couple of minutes, the opportunity arrives to break through the Voth forces.
A Voth soldier is activating the battle suit.
The disabled suit we passed on the way to the generator room springs to life and fires down upon us, and we have to fall back while peppering it with shots. The mech suit isn't a huge challenge to bring down, however, not when compared to other foes we've faced.
That was an explosion of sufficient magnitude to cause a breach. Doctor, what is your status?
I'm fine. The Voth can't get in. You, may want to put a shield up around the next door before you open it.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
It would appear all that is between us and our goal is the vacuum of space.
And don't forget the atmosphere of a star.
My modifications successfully locked the Voth out of this area. However, there was an armed Voth battlesuit in the corridor. The station's automated swarmers attacked, and this is the result.
Okay, so the patrol drones nuked a Voth mech and it caused a hull breach. I'm glad the other mech didn't do that. What about the Dyson? Can they beam us across? Any luck contacting them?
No response. According to my readings, there is no method of direct access. Unless your ship is within range, we are stranded.
No, my crew will have joined up with the fleet by now. We should go get Cooper.
I'm here. Wait.
Doctor, we require a way to access the other areas of the station. Your thoughts?
I have an idea, but you may not like it. Those EV suits over there. They have maneuvering jets that we could use on the outside of the station. I've looked them over, and they should be able to withstand the heat of the sun.
Should.
Well, nothing will withstand that much heat and radiation for long. The suits appear to be designed for use in the shadow of the station. But, technically, they can keep us safe. For a little while.
They will have to suffice. We have no other logical option.
So this station's protection extends to a personal level with these suits.
Doctor, are you going to prepare your suit?
Me? Of course not. It's far too risky for me to go out there.
We will need to convince Cooper to overcome his fear and help us complete our mission.
Oh, you can try this, it'll work, but no, I don't want anything to do with it in case it doesn't. Fine, Cooper's the only one left who understands the sphere tech, so like it or not, we're gonna have to drag him with us. Alright, let's try it this way. Get in the spacesuit. No?
Do you really need me out there? Internal comms are still active. I could just tell you what you have to do. I really can't stand any more stress. I have no idea why Admiral Tuvok chose me for this project. I'm not trained for field work. If I get home alive, I'm writing a letter to the Federation Science Council. I'll file a formal complaint.
You do that. We have several options again here. We can ask him what he thinks he'll do if the Voth return.
The Voth? I thought you defeated them all. They're not going to come back, are they? I can't be alone if they come back. They'll kill me. They'll rip me apart.
Yes, then they'll eat your bones.
I'll do it. I can't fight the Voth alone.
Or we can just simply insist that as he's the only one that knows how to operate the sphere tech, we're going to need him with us at all times.
I know. But flying over a star? It's crazy. I don't even like using the holodeck. All I can think about is how I'm going to burn to a crisp and die horribly, away from everyone I care about.
Look at me. That won't happen. You don't care about anyone, alright?
I've seen the stories about you. You've been through a lot for one captain. If you can do this, maybe I can too. I'll get my EV suit. Let's go.
Or we could just try to guilt trip him by accusing him of actively trying to sabotage us. What a ridiculous notion.
Sabotage you? What do you mean? It's true the suits will work. Why would I lie to you?
You might not be Cooper, you could be an alien in disguise.
Why would you think that? Fine. I'll show you I'm telling the truth. I'll put on a suit and go with you.
Good boy. We don our own Solanae environmental suit and join Cooper and Tuvok in the open vacuum of space.
I can do this. I can do this. I can do this.
Calm yourself, Doctor. Conserve your oxygen.
Of course, this is far from the cold, dark emptiness that usual EV activities are conducted in. This time we have the seething mass of a star roiling beneath us and throwing up lethal heat and radiation. Amid the wreckage of the station's connective corridor, which we could actually see when we passed it on the armature earlier, floats dead Voth forces and the wreckage of several drones.
There is a large piece of debris blocking the station's entrance. There is a large amount of debris blocking the entrance. It will be impossible for us to move it without assistance. I can scan the area for anything that may be of use. There are two objects of interest. The first is the remains of a Voth battlesuit. There is a mortar payload within it that we can place onto the debris. The second is the remains of a swarmer, specifically a miniaturized communications device. We could use it to detonate the mortar remotely.
Navigating in microgravity sure presents a challenge. In a vacuum there is nothing to slow your momentum, so once you start in a direction, then that's the way you're going until acted upon by another force. Sticking to the shaded areas as best we can, we manage to reach the Voth suit and grab the explosives. Allow me to clock more hours in the EV training when we get back to the armature. We return to the blockage, only a little crispier, and plant our makeshift device.
I suggest flying a safe distance before activating the charges. The door is sealed. Any ideas, Doctor?
There should be a manual release for the locks above us.
Of course the bulkheads would have sealed against the pressure, and there are in fact 3 manual overrides located around the broken bridge. Upon reaching them we are able to deactivate the lockout, while Tuvok deploys a shield to prevent the atmosphere inside being vacated when the door opens. Honestly, I'm getting used to being out here. The only worry I have now is that the station has sustained too much damage to maintain its orbit, and it falls into the sun. Should probably keep that to myself.
The doors are open. Dr. Cooper and I will wait for you inside.
These suits are fried. I doubt they'll be much use anymore.
We can keep the EV suits and upgrade them later. The choice of suit is decided by which defensive option we picked earlier, whether the beams or the drones.
Something has closed the doors. Most unsettling.
I think the station's defenses are activating.
The swarmers that have been harassing the Voth spawn in from vents around the hall, and with nowhere to go, it's down to the Admiral and I to hold our ground until we're able to seize the opportunity to make a break for it.
We should move forward before more defenses activate.
We charge down the unwelcoming corridors until we reach a second chamber.
I remember this room. The security protocols shut us out when we first arrived.
Prepare yourself. We must defend Dr. Cooper.
As if on cue, swarmers descend upon us and we need to keep their attention away from Dr. Cooper as he attempts to apply his knowledge of the station's systems to open the way for us.
I need you to activate a console while I work on this.
We'll have to wait for a lull in the drone's attack before activating a secondary console for Cooper to continue. If we try it too soon, there's a good chance we'll just be interrupted. This happens once more after another wave.
I need you to activate a console while I work on this. Perfect. I'm almost done.
Come on, Cooper, we can't keep this up forever. For all his claims to the contrary, he seems to be working just fine under this sort of pressure.
We're through!
So this is the control room where the Voth had been sealed in.
We must power down the room's shielding to access the control panels.
The shielding Tuvok is referring to are the ones covering the vents below. This room, much like the generator room, offers a spectacular view of the star's surface and clearly monitors its activity, judging from the real-time display of the sun that we have in the centre of the room.
The Doctor and I will continue our work while you disable the lower panels.
What's that noise? And what lower panels? You mean the ones in these trenches? Really? Tuvok? I'm going down there. With the fiery death lasers. And you're up here pushing button. Okay. To be fair, trying not to die to energy blasts is kind of just Captain Hale's weekdays, and I stand far less chance working on the operating systems of the Solanae Dyson Sphere. It occurs to me that this was probably the reason for the shielding in the control room in the first place. Okay, now I just need to make my way to the final one. Oh, risk it for a biscuit? Hey.
Good work. Reactivate the shields and we can complete our mission.
Finishing the work creates a staircase of sorts to escape the energy trench, and reactivating the shields shuts down the hazard.
The honor of deactivating the station is yours.
There we go. The deactivation program is moving nicely.
Doctor, I'm detecting something curious. Energy levels in the gateway in front of us are rising at an exponential rate. It appears to be activating.
What? Let me check. Oh, this is not good. The gateway is designed to be an escape hatch in the event this station goes offline. We cannot deactivate the jump protocols without activating the gateway as well.
Is there any way to override the protocols?
None that I can see. If we want to stop the jump, we have to activate that gate.
It seems we have little choice. Your thoughts?
I mean, like, I've already accidentally activated thousands of these.
As Tuvok said, we have no choice. If we want to stop this sphere from moving, we need to activate the gateway. Our time here is limited. The Voth will return in force. We have to do this now. There is no other option.
It makes sense, but I do have reservations.
I know you have a past with the Iconian gateways, but our options are limited. The choice is logical. If the Voth jump the sphere to an area near their homeworld, billions of Omega particles will be expended.
I keep forgetting the Omega directive's in play.
With the degradation of the sphere's systems caused by centuries of disuse, there is an 86.8% chance that the expenditure will cause an Omega detonation, destroying subspace across a vast region of the Delta Quadrant. The alternative is opening a single gateway. That is far less of a risk.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could have found a better way. I failed you both.
Do not dwell on this. If there was another option, we would have found it. One moment. We are being Hale. Tuvok here.
Chief Engineer Tarkram of the Dyson here, Admiral.
Acknowledged, Chief. Are all of your systems restored?
The opening of the gateway cleared up the ambient distortion disruptions. Do you need transport?
Yes, I want to get off this station now.
We are ready to depart. Chief, do you have a lock?
Admiral Tuvok, come in!
Dyson, 3 to beam up.
We can't get a lock. You need to get out of the hot zone. Move!
Alright, it seems that my fears may be coming true. The station has just sustained too much damage to survive, and with us trying to operate it, things have clearly gone awry.
We're going to die! We're going to die!
We need to get to a less shielded section of the station where the USS Dyson can get a transporter lock on us. And I can't think of a more unshielded area than one exposed to the vacuum of space, so let's get back to the room next to the hull breach.
We have a lock on you, sir. Just give the word.
Hold on. Where's Tuvok and Cooper? I need to make sure that they made it out. Oh, there's Cooper. He's fast when he's scared. Tuvok? Tuvok's there too. Okay, get us out of there. Oh dear, the Voth ships are wasting no time in exploring this new opening.
Good to have you on board, sir. I'm Chief Engineer Tarkram. The fleet and your ship are still engaged with the Voth, but several Voth ships are making their way towards the gateway. One of their dreadnoughts has already passed through. As the only available ship, we have orders to stop the other Voth from entering the gateway.
One ship against a fleet? Let's hope that this vessel is everything the Admiral claims it is. Actually, the odds aren't as against us as they may first appear. After all, the Voth, mighty as they are, aren't protected from the star's radiation and heat as well as the USS Dyson is. This ship is designed as a designated sun diver and can operate here unimpaired for a long time. The hull is seemingly constructed of the same materials as the Dyson Sphere. You can see those characteristic grooves and purple glows marked on its stark hull. The initial scouts are easily dispatched. The Dyson seems to be easily powerful enough to take them down. The larger vessels are able to put up a bit more of a resistance, but with Admiral Tuvok lending his tactical expertise, we are able to overcome the Voth Palisade frigates. The vessel disabled, we turn our attention to more Voth reinforcements, and this time a larger Bastion-class cruiser is among them. The Voth vessels are named after types of defensive encampment. As most of their species live aboard large city ships, it makes sense that their military vessels would share this naming tendency. Taking a final dive under the Voth ship, weathering the heat of the star, we fire into its exposed belly and hit something critical. The vessel ceases to fire and move as its power fails.
There are no more Voth in the vicinity, but one dreadnought did go through the gateway. If my readings are correct, it is passing into another Dyson Sphere, this one deeper in the Delta Quadrant. If the Voth are allowed to enter another sphere, they will try to claim it, as they have fought to claim this one.
Then it seems that for now, until the fleet is free to follow us, we need to keep the Voth occupied. So join me for next part, as we take a step between the stars. Until then, I've been Rick, thanks for watching, and goodbye.